ضرور میں کروں گا.
Yes.
انسان روحانی حالت میں اگر ایک دفعہ کسی لذت کو پاتا ہے نماز میں یا کیسے بھی, تو پھر وہ چاہتا ہے کہ وہ اس لذت کو پکڑے رکھے, یا وہ لذت وہ مزہ اس کو ملتا رہے بار بار. لیکن کیا وجہ ہے کہ وہ بہت زیادہ وقت تک اس مزے میں نہیں رہ سکتا ہے, پھر نمازوں کو چھوڑتا ہے یا تھوڑا بہت برائی کی طرف جاتا ہے.
Again, this is a generalization. You want me to give my verdict on a particular event in general terms. This is not possible. Every particular event is different from other, and generalization cannot be made. But if you forget the individual idiosyncrasies and talk just in generalities, again I should like to draw your attention to the general phenomena of nature, that always things are variable and changing. Even in the physical being that we have, you like sugar, for instance. Some people have sweet tooth, like Imran has, haven't you? Yes, you told me this morning, didn't you? Yes. So, but if they go on eating sugar, the intensity of pleasure would go on decreasing until a break-even time would reach, where they would say, all right, I can have it and not have it, And then when they overdo it, like sometimes Imran does, then you feel loathsome, about sugar, and sometimes you feel nauseated and even vomit. So these things happen because, not that sugar is bad, because the capabilities to absorb sugar differ from person to person. The threshold of everybody is different. So after a while, you stop eating sugar for a while, and then again it comes back. So this is true with every pleasure. Pleasure has a mounting demand when you are missing it for a while, and it is highly intensified to begin with. But the moment you indulge in it, it begins to lose interest in you until you think that you never desired it. And that is also a time of tawbah for many sinners. They think it is tawbah, and they think they are re-indulging in the sin, while it is not tawbah. It is like the tawbah of a man who has eaten too much sugar and does not want to eat it anymore. So that state of affair, where one criminal finds himself after a crime has satiated his requirement, that is mistaken as tawbah. It is not tawbah. It is like the tawbah of a poet, as Ghalib says, रात थी जमजम पे मैं और सुबह दम धोए धब्बे जामे ihram के. That all night we kept drinking by the side of Ab Zamzam, the fountain of Zamzam. And in the morning we wash the spots and stains caused by the wine. That is a sort of tawbah. And again, a poetic tawbah is described, that jame mein tawbah shikan, tawbah meri jam shikan, सामने ढेर हैं टूटे हुए पैमानों के. That jame mein tawbah shikan, a cup of wine, breaks my tawbah, knows how to break it. And my tawbah knows how to break the cups of wine. So before me there is a heap of broken cups of wine. So this is all a misnomer for tawbah. It is a natural phenomenon. Once you are satiated with something, you lose desire. And at that instant, when you commit tawbah, it is not reliable tawbah at all. It is the next morning or next night that would decide whether you actually committed your tawbah or not, exercised the tawbah or not. So that sort of tawbah is also described in a joke. No, but won't you like to hear that joke about tawbah? Of someone who had bought too many, I have already told perhaps, bought too many watermelons. Haven't I?
No.
Yes. No, I have told. No? Half of people say yes and half of people say no. So that reminds me of another situation, very interesting, which is applicable to this. Once somebody gathered around him quite a mob, quite a crowd, and asked them, have I told you before what I'm going to tell you, or do you know it or not? So everybody said no. He said, well, when you don't know anything, why should I tell you? So next day again, he got the crowd round him and repeated the same question. Everybody said, yes, we know. He said, there's no use of telling you. So the third day again, he called them. He said, now this evening I'm going to tell you something. Everybody, curiosity has been around, the whole town got round. So they had decided, they were very clever people. They decided half of them said no and half of them said yes. He said, all right, now it's very easy. Those who know, they should tell those who do not know. So you have led me into this situation. Half of you know and half of you do not know. So who would tell? Imran, would you tell? Come on, yes. Imran has heard this and he's going to repeat it. Or who is a better narrator of jokes than you, brother? Khalid? Okay, Khalid, come on. Khalid, come on, take. Fun? You remember, don't you? You raised your hand when I said this. Come on. Don't tell the Pathan part of it because you are a Pathan. You are a Pathan yourself, aren't you?
Well, I won't say the Punjabi part of it either.
There was no Punjabi part at all.
There wasn't.
You must have heard a wrong joke then. Come on, yes.
One day it was very, very hot weather, and a man went out to buy some...
Who was out?
A man.
Yes.
He went out to buy some watermelons, because they have a lot of water in them. And as he was walking...
No, it's not like that. Someone who was on a journey was feeling very hungry and thirsty, so he decided to buy watermelons because they would serve both the purposes. But he overestimated the extent of his hunger and thirst. So instead of buying 10 seers, for instance, he bought a full mound, that is 40 kilos, and went out of the town, traveling towards next town, and in a cool, shady place he decided to sit and eat. So after now you can start from there.
So after he reached the shade of the tree, he said, well, why should I'm feeling thirsty now. So he ate some of the watermelons.
As many as he could. Yes.
But then there was still a lot left. Yes. And so he said, well, I'll leave them all here. And so he left them all there and carried on walking. Then after another few...
No. He threw some filth over them. He called them bad names and said they were just a load, useless burden, and they tired me out unnecessarily. I required only a few. So on the rest he threw some filth. So to hell with you, and he departed. And the watermelon is a watery thing, and in a hot summer day, out because of perspiration, one feels thirsty very quickly. And also it doesn't fill the belly really. For a while one feels it is filled, but immediately it gets emptied. So after walking a couple of miles, he thought, look here, I made a mistake. I do require them. So he turned back and tried to find out which one were clean and which were had the filth on. So he picked about half of them and said, they are clean, and ate them, and then left the place again. So after a couple of miles again, he felt extremely thirsty and hungry. He said, look here, I am a very stupid man. Instead of eating the clean ones, I ate the dirty ones. And the clean ones are still waiting for me there. So he returned and ate the clean ones as well. That was the joke about this. Now I hope you'll remember it correctly next time, right? Yes. So that is the question of satiation, no tawbah. You understand? That is why you reminded me of this. Huh? So tawbah ki hai? यहाँ के पढ़े ना, यहाँ आके पढ़े. Surah Tawbah, which verse?
نمبر 123 وآخرون اعترفوا بذنوبهم خلطوا عملا صالحا وآخر سيئا عسى الله أن يتوب عليهم إن الله غفور رحيم.
In the meantime, you can ask your question. Yes, please. You are sitting in the same general direction, so you